Hello everyone and welcome back to my philosophical video thingy. This is part 2 because my friend liked the first one. So yeah, here's the first question we're gonna answer today. Does God exist? I don't know, does he? Do you think he exists, guys? So personally, I don't think God exists. But he could exist because how else would the universe start, you know? Yeah. Next question. Is there life after death? Maybe. What if you just die and then you live again? That would be so cool, guys. Oh, freak, I clicked on the picture. It's a weird dude walking through a tunnel. And it says, illustration for article titled 8. Oh, okay. It's illustration for the article from last video. Or last episode, I guess. And this time, there's not Angry Birds in the background. I have Rioter in the background. And probably something else too, because it's not, the ratio for that game isn't 16:9. So yeah. Some person on Reddit linked to some article about how a person got rebirthed or something. Like they had memories of a past life or something, so maybe, like, I mean, Satan on Twitter seems like a nice guy, but his account got deleted for some reason. So yeah. What if I end up in hell? That's gonna be awesome, because I can meet Satan, and I can see his Twitter account. Yeah. Technically, there is life after death, because you die, and then after a long time, you turn into ground or something, and then some plant or something eats you from the ground, maybe, and then yeah, and you get eaten by. If you just die in nature, then there'll be a bunch of bugs and stuff just eating on you. So then you'll be part of a bug's digestive system for a short amount of time, and yeah. And then when that bug dies, some other bug is gonna eat that bug, and then when that other bug dies, it's probably bigger than the original bug, so maybe a bird's gonna come and eat it. And then that bird dies, and a cat eats it. Yes. Or maybe a bigger bird. And then after that big bird dies, some more insects eat it. And yeah. And it just continues like that. And then, yeah. Let's read what the article says. Before everyone gets excited, this is not a suggestion that we'll all end up strumming harps on some fluffy white cloud or find ourselves shoveling coal in the depths of hell for eternity. Because we cannot ask the dead if there's anything on the other side. We're left guessing as to what happens next. Materialists assume that there is no life after death, but it's just that. An assumption that cannot necessarily be proven. That's very true. Looking closer to the machinations of the universe, or multiverse, whether it be through a classical Newtonian / Einsteinian lens, or through the spooky filter of a quantum mechanics, there's no reason to believe that we only have one shot at this thing called life. It's a question of metaphysics, and the possibility that the cosmos, what Carl Sagan describes as all that is or ever was or ever will be, cycles and percolates in such a way that lives are infinitely recycled. Hans Moravec put put it best when speaking in relation to the quantum many worlds interpretation, said that non-observance of the universe is impossible. We must always find ourselves alive and observing the universe in some form or another. This is highly speculative stuff, but like the God problem, is one that science cannot yet tackle, leaving it to the philosophers. So is there life after death? I mean, if there is, it's probably nothing what humans think, right? Maybe if we live in a simulation, you'll get to experience your actual life after death, like your real life. So if we live in a simulation, then there's probably life after death, unless you're unless your body gets killed too, your real life body gets killed too if you die in the simulation, which would be very weird. Number 6. Can you really experience anything objectively? What does that mean? I've never bothered finding out what objectively means. Okay, so that means speaking in a way that's not affected by thoughts or feelings or whatever you think. I mean, no one knows if anything is actually objective. Like, I mean, you can say that that wall over there is white. That's not, but that's just facts. Yeah. Says, can you experience anything objectively? You probably can't, right? Because you always have thoughts and stuff going through your brain about the experience you're having. Like, yeah. Right now I'm recording a video, and that's facts. But I'm experiencing this through my own thoughts and stuff. So I don't know, what does it say? There's the difference between understanding the world objectively, or at least trying to anyway, and experiencing it through an exclusive objective framework. This is essentially the problem of qualia, the notion that our surroundings can only be observed through the filter of our senses and the cogitations of our minds. Everything you know, everything you've touched, seen, and smelled has been filtered through any number of physiological and cognitive processes. Subsequently, your subjective experience of the world is unique. In the classic example, the subjective appreciation of the color red may vary from person to person. The only way you could possibly know is if you were to somehow observe the universe from the conscious lens of another person in a sort of being John Malkovich kind of way. Not anything we're likely going to be able to accomplish at any stage of our scientific or technological development. Another way of saying all this is that the universe can only be observed through a brain, or potentially a machine mind. Is AI alive, do you think? Maybe that's the next question, who knows? And by virtue of that, can only be interpreted subjectively. But given that the universe appears to be coherent and somewhat knowable, should we continue to assume that it's true? Objective quality can never be observed or known. It's worth noting that much of Buddhist philosophy is predicated on this fundamental limitation, what they call emptiness, and a complete antithesis to Plato's idealism. Well, my answer to this question is probably no, because you can't experience anything objectively, because your brain is always working and thinking and stuff. So yeah, no, you can't really experience anything objectively, probably. Number 7. What is the best moral system? I don't know. uh, so there's a picture of you, and you can choose if the train runs over your true love or your relatives. So it's probably better to kill just one person, but you don't want to because you're really attached to that person. Like in Life is Strange, you have to either you can choose between letting a bunch of people die or let you and your best friend survive, which is uh, probably very hard to choose in real life because you don't want your best friend to die. So it says, essentially, we'll never truly be able to distinguish between right and wrong actions. At any given time in history, however, philosophers, theologians, and politicians will claim to have discovered the best way to evaluate human actions and establish the most righteous code of conduct. But it's never that easy. Life is far too messy and complicated for there to be anything like a universal morality or an absolutist ethics. The golden rule is great, the idea that you should treat others as you would like them to treat you, but it disregards moral autonomy and leaves no room for the imposition of justice, such as jailing criminals, and can never be used to justify oppression. Immanuel Kant was among its most staunchest critics. Moreover, it's a highly simplified rule of thumb that doesn't provision for more complex scenarios. For example, should the few be spared to save the many? Who has more moral worth, a human baby or a full-grown great ape? Let's answer that question. If the great ape is endangered, you should probably save the great ape if you could choose between the baby and the ape, right? Because there's humans everywhere. There's 7 billion humans. So, yeah. Let's continue reading. And as the neuroscientists have shown, morality is not only a culturally ingrained thing, it's also part of our psychologies. The trolley problem is the best demonstration of this. At best, we can only say that morality is normative while acknowledging that our sense of right and wrong will change over time. Yeah, it probably will. Like maybe in the future I'll think that you should save the human baby instead of the endangered great ape. What are numbers? Numbers are things that you use to count things. What are they really? Numbers are they are things. Let's say there's one computer and then you have another computer. That means you have 2 computers. That's what a number is. Yeah, there's symbols used for counting. That's really it. Let's read what it says here. We use numbers every day, but taking a step back, what are they really? And why do they do such a damn good job of helping us explain the universe, such as Newtonian laws? I don't know, because people want to use numbers, apparently. because the number is a thing. Yes. um, Mathematical structures can consist of numbers, sets, groups, and points, but are they real objects, or do they simply describe relationships that necessarily exist in all structures? I think that they aren't actually objects, right? A 1 is not an object. Unless you print out a huge 1, then it's an object. But yeah. Plato argued that numbers were real. It doesn't matter that you can't see them. I mean, I guess, yeah. Maybe. Like, okay. But formalists insisted that they were merely formal systems, well-defined constructions of abstract thought based on math. This is essentially an ontological problem, where we're left baffled about the true nature of the universe and which aspects of it are human constructs and which are truly tangible. Like if you want to calculate the size of a black hole or something, then the numbers you use to calculate it aren't real, maybe. But then the actual answer you get about how big a black hole is actual stuff, right? Because you measure it in like meters or feet. So the measurement is real, but not the actual numbers you use to find the size or whatever, maybe. Okay, that was the last question. Very interesting. Kinda. The first 3 from the last video were really good. I could answer them for like, it took me 30 minutes to answer 3 questions, or maybe like 23 minutes, maybe like almost 30, I think. But I don't know. I just really answered the other ones really fast because I don't know. I didn't really answer them because you can't really find an answer to these. But yeah. So that's it. I'll see you sometime. Hope you enjoyed this video of me answering these questions, and hope you liked the background gameplay of me failing at writer. So I'll see you at some point at some time.